What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Mountain Vibes video. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And if this is your first time here, consider hitting that subscribe button. That way you're not going to miss any future release content here on the channel. So with today's video, we are going to be discussing camber versus rocker, or camber and rocker. Essentially ski profiles and how they affect how skis react, and more importantly, how they will actually affect your skiing and your day out on the mountain. So without wasting any more time, let's jump into this video, shall we? All right, let's start off by going over what is camber, or what does camber even look like? Well, if you were to take your skis and put them on a flat surface like a table, you'll notice that there's gonna be an arc or a bow in the middle of the skis. And when you go to compress it, that skis will not pop back up. So in a sense, camber gives the skis its power, its pop, its precision, and its edge grip, or effective edge, depending on who you're speaking to. So if you were to think of a traditional cambered ski, that arc or that bow is literally going to go from one end of the ski all the way to the other, but the contact points being at the complete opposite ends of the skis. Now these are going to be the most precise, the most powerful skis on the market, and they're only really found in either high performance carving skis or racing skis these days. The reason for this is the individuals that are buying these skis are the ones who tend to ski really fast, and by having the most edge grip, it's going to make the ski a lot grippier, and it's going to give the skier a lot more confidence at skiing at higher speeds. Now, having said that, they're not very forgiving, and so most, let's say, intermediate skiers, high intermediates, don't necessarily, they're not going to want a fully cambered ski because of the aggressiveness that they actually are. Because the moment you put a ski on edge, it's literally the whole thing's gonna want to engage, and you're gonna have to have a really solid technique. You have to learn how to enter a turn, load the skis, unweight the skis, exit the turn, and then be able to go into the next one and do it all over again. And if you're not prepared for it, the skis will essentially be skiing you. So you have to be a much stronger skier, a much more aggressive skier in order to be able to control and handle a traditional cambered ski. Now, on the opposite side though of camber, we have rocker. Now, if you were to think of it this way, if you were to take a fully rockered ski and put it on the ground, the ski is literally going to be rocking back and forth, hence rocker. Now, same thing with camber though. Fully rockered skis do have some advantages and some disadvantages. So the advantages to having a fully rockered ski is that it makes it very easy to release the ski, and it makes it very easy for it to stay afloat in soft snow. So that's why fully rockered skis, you mostly find them in either backcountry skis or touring skis, or powder skis actually as well. The reason for this is that once the skier or the individual wants to lean back, the ski is going to naturally want to pop up and stay up out of that soft snow. And by also having more rocker or a full rocker at the back end, it's going to make it very easy for the ski to smear, and makes it very easy for that ski to be washed out and be pushed around a lot easier in soft snow. Whereas let's say if you had a cambered ski, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for you to push that ski around. Now, the downside of having a fully rockered ski is that there's very, very little edge grip, if any at all, depending on how the ski is designed. So if you're looking for a nice take anywhere all mountain ski, a fully rockered ski will not necessarily be the one for you, because if you think about it, if you have a ski that's rocking back and forth, you're going to have very little effective edge on the overall length of the ski. You may just have a little bit underfoot, and that's about it. So if you're actually trying to ski from one powder stash to another, but you have to go on some, I don't say, sketchy groomers for a little bit, the skis are going to be flapping around all over the place because there's no real grip to it. So now, with saying that, this is where manufacturers start kind of messing around or playing around with different rocker profiles or different rocker camber combinations. But when you read up about them, they're not going to say something is going to be like a type of camber profile. They will most likely say it is a different type of rocker profile because of the way that they're tweaking it and the way that they're adding the rocker to it. So when you're researching skis, the most common profile you most likely find these days are going to be rocker, camber, rocker. Now, this could also mean many different things, so you do have to be careful with what it is that you're actually looking at. So let's say if you want a high performance ski, but you don't necessarily want a ski that is true camber because you want something to be a little bit more accessible, you may go for something that would be considered, let's say, an on-piste rocker. So this is where a manufacturer will bring the contact points in ever so slightly at both ends of the skis, just to make it a little bit easier to engage and to release the ski. So you don't necessarily have to have like the best technique. You still need to be a strong skier to use it, but it's just going to make it like that much more accessible to you. Now, at the same time though, a lot of beginner skis may have this same similar profile. The reason for this is when you're learning to ski, having a profile like this and having a little bit more camber is going to allow you to learn how to use the edges, how to learn how to weight the ski properly, how to like load it, how to put it into a turn, how to take it out of a turn. But by not having the whole ski bite and engage, by having that little bit of rocker at the tip and tail, just makes it a little bit easier for the skier to learn how to use the edges. Now keep in mind though, a ski like this and then a beginner ski are built completely differently, even though they may have a very similar camber profile. Ski like this will have carbon in it, making it a lot stiffer, whereas a beginner ski will most likely have a composite core or a very soft, forgiving wood core to make it a lot easier for them to actually engage the ski. They don't have to ski fast to make it actually work. So keep that in mind when you're actually looking at skis. Another thing though too is let's say the different types of skis that you're looking at. So let's say a ski like this is meant more for front side, whereas a ski like this over here is meant more for off-piste or powder riding. So the Camber Rocker profile on this ski is going to have a lot more rocker compared to this one here. Still has a little bit of camber underfoot just to give me a little bit of edge grip. But by having more rocker at the tip and tail, it does make the ski a lot more playful. It does make it a little bit more easier to manage in soft snow. The ski's gonna wanna stay up a little bit more. I'm not gonna have to lean back nearly as much. And then there's also something you can find that's in between, where skis may not necessarily have as much rocker on it. You have a little bit more camber. So like let's say you have 25%, 20% rocker at the front, 15 to 20 at the back. You still have a decent amount of camber underfoot, providing you with that edge grip, but by giving you a little bit more rocker than let's say an on-piste rocker compared to this ski here, it gives you a more true all-mountain experience. It gives you a nice one ski quiver, if you will. Now saying that though, certain brands may market things a little bit differently or give you the information a little bit differently. Some brands may be as precise as telling you how many millimeters of rocker you actually get at the tip and tail, whereas others will give it to you in a percentage. So just when you're reading up on stuff and you see a Camber Rocker profile, read a little bit more into it and figure out exactly how much rocker you actually have. But then again though, if you are looking at a specific type of ski, usually brands won't venture too far away from one or the other if you're looking for a specific ski to do certain things. Now, another profile that you don't really quite see as common, but is still actually pretty strong, is an early rise rocker. This is where the 3/4 of the ski is going to be cambered or have almost a flat tail at the back, but the top end is rockered. This is going to allow the skis to stay up out of soft snow and just make it a little bit easier for the individual to engage the ski. Whereas with the back end having a little bit more camber, going to give you a little bit more precision, but it's not going to be as precise as, let's say, something that has a little bit more camber in it, going more towards the front of the ski as well. Having said all that though, there is one other thing that I would like to mention, that when you start messing around with the camber profiles of skis, it does in fact change the amount of effective edge that you get, which in turn will affect how long the skis will be that you are actually purchasing. I'm not going to get into that in this video. I'm going to save that for another one, just so that this video doesn't drag on for too long. So having said all that, that's all I have for everyone for today. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comments section below. I'll be happy to get back to you as soon as I can. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It would be greatly appreciated. Subscribe if you are not already. Don't forget to support your local ski and snowboard shop. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and I'll see you guys in the next video.